Once upon a time there was a carpenter named Geppetto, who lived alone in his small workshop. One day, while working in his workshop, Geppetto decided to carve a wooden doll, which he named Pinocchio. Geppetto wished he had a son, and as he carved the doll, he talked to him and told him about his hopes and dreams. He was a carpenter much loved by the children, as he made the most fun and beautiful toys. He always thought about the happiness of the children, so he always wanted to have one, but he had never been able to have one. To his surprise, when Geppetto finished carving Pinocchio, he was about to go to bed, and when he saw a shooting star, he wished that Pinocchio would come to life when he went to sleep. The fairy godmother arrived at the carpenter's house, and when she saw Pinocchio with her magic wand, he came to life. The fairy told him that he was not yet a complete child, but that if he behaved well, she would make him one, since Pinocchio was a wooden boy with movable legs and arms, and a nose that grew every time he told a lie. The godmother warned him that he had to be a good and obedient boy and not lie. Geppetto was excited and happy to have Pinocchio as his son. Pinocchio, however, was a naughty and curious child. He had no experience in the world and did not know right from wrong. Therefore, the fairy godmother left him a talking cricket as his companion who would be his conscience, helping him to know and identify right from wrong. Geppetto warned him about the dangers and told him that he should go to school and be a good boy. But Pinocchio did not listen to his father's warnings and gave in to the temptation of fun and adventure. Instead of going to school, he met a fox and a cat who promised him riches and fame if he would follow them. Innocently, Pinocchio followed the two characters and found himself in a world full of trickery and deceit. He was taken to a puppet theater where he was used as part of a show. Pinocchio realized he had been tricked and decided to escape. While he was trying to escape, he was locked up so that he would not run away. Suddenly, Pinocchio met the Blue Fairy. When he saw the fairy, she asked him what he was doing there. He lied and told her that some wolves had forced him. Each time Pinocchio continued to lie, his nose grew bigger and bigger. Seeing this, he didn't understand anything, and the fairy explained that part of the magic he had was that if he lied, the magic made his nose grow. He asked the fairy for another chance, as he did not know this condition he had. The fairy granted him a chance this time and explained that he had to be more vigilant and warned him about bad influences and told him that he should change his behavior. The Blue Fairy gave Pinocchio a chance to redeem himself and told him that if he wanted to be a real boy, he had to be good and obedient and, above all, not lie. If you made it this far, we hope you will continue the video and that you will subscribe and leave a nice like, so you give us more encouragement to continue making these videos. Let's continue. Pinocchio promised to be good and embarked on a journey full of challenges and trials. On his way back home, he met again the fox and the lighthouse who told him about a new adventure they proposed to him. But a little hesitant, Pinocchio heard of an island that was called the Happy Island for children, and again he let himself be convinced to go with them. They took him to the Happy Island, which was only happy for the first day, since they allowed the children to do whatever they wanted. But it was all a macabre plan to, by means of a magic potion, turn all the children into donkeys and sell them for forced labor. Pinocchio, realizing that his new friend Juan was turning into a donkey after drinking a glass of juice, and Pinocchio had only had a little, got scared and told his faithful friend the cricket that they had to get out of there now. They made a plan to escape, and when they escaped, they saw how all the children were taken in boats to another place. Pinocchio, in an oversight of the guards, took a boat and began to row with all his strength until he reached dry land. Running, he went home to tell his father, but when he arrived, he realized that his father was not at home and began to see what had happened. After searching for a while, the cricket saw a note that said, "I went to the island of happy children because they told me that Pinocchio was there." Pinocchio got scared and went to the boats to go to the island again, but a fisherman told him that his father had been eaten by a giant fish. Pinocchio, worried about his father and determined to find him, went into the water to look for the fish. When Pinocchio saw the giant fish, he knew that inside was his father, the cricket and Pinocchio. At a moment when the fish opened its mouth quickly, Pinocchio went in and looked for his father. When he found him, his father told him that this was the end, that they could never get out of this place. And thinking about how to get out, his father lit a small fire to make a meal while they thought. Seeing this, Pinocchio grabbed all the wooden things, made a big fire, and thought that the smoke will make the fish sneeze. And so the fish sneezed and Pinocchio and his father were ready to go out. Once they were out, the fish chased them for a long way, but Pinocchio, determined to save his father, the cricket and his father's kitten and little fish, struggled and fought the fish until he managed to save them and bring them to dry land. Very tired and on the verge of death, the father and the cricket took Pinocchio home so that he could rest. Seeing Pinocchio's effort, the blue fairy saw Pinocchio's courage and his great love for others. She woke Pinocchio up and said, "What happened to you this time?" and told him everything from his bad decision to go to the island and everything that happened with the giant fish. Hearing this, and knowing that Pinocchio was not lying because his nose was not growing, he said to him, "For being an honest, faithful boy with a lot of love for others, I will make you into a real boy." Taking the wand and saying the magic words, Pinocchio became a real flesh and blood child and could feel everything a child feels. He ran off to his father to tell him what had happened, and Geppetto, happy because he finally had a real boy, told the whole town. The people congratulated Geppetto and celebrated with him in a big party in the town square. And so we see the importance of being an honest person and always tell the truth and with a lot of love for others. This is the end. We hope you liked our story. We also hope you subscribe and give us a nice like.